I wanted to shoot a quick video for you guys. Anyone that's still subscribed to me, I appreciate it. Especially if you're looking for the BMW content. There's so many people that have them now so I appreciate it. I'm not gonna say I was one of the first at all, but I did something a little different when I was building this car with the dual clutch transmission and everything. So here we are. Let me show you guys the car in its current state. It's a little sad, but let's peep it out. Let me zoom out here. So here she is. Still got the wheels on it. Not too bad. She's dirty as all get out. That's nothing but a wash. This was already happening previously, but it's gotten a lot worse. Clear coat is definitely coming off. I think there was like some damage here, and then I guess the paint just allowed it to separate. So the base coat is, the clear coat is coming off the base coat. But I guess the bigger news is the motor is out. The motor is actually on the ground right now. I'm gonna move it soon, but dang, that's crazy, right? Oh man, crazy. So what happened was I was hearing some noise on the transmission, and I was like thinking about swapping out the transmission and everything. I still haven't made a final decision on it just yet, because there's so many different directions I could go. I could go with a T56, I could go with a 8 HP or ZF transmission, better known, or I can stick with the dual clutch. But I did want to get everything checked out, look at the motor and everything. But this is kind of where she's sitting right now, man. A lot has changed. And, my motivation has changed as well, because like building this car was kind of like a prove it to myself project, but also a prove it to my father. My father taught me everything I knew, showed me everything, showed me that things I thought were impossible could be done, even in places like this, in the country, in the open air, no sheds. Man, we've never had like, protected covering or anything when it comes to working on cars. Man, it made me a really tough individual. But unfortunately, my father passed away last year, and it really knocked away a lot of my motivation to keep building the car. Because I took the motor out before everything kind of happened. So it's kind of been like this in the same state for a little while. And I just haven't really found the motivation to really get back here at his house to work on it, to put the motor back in, or anything just of late. But, it's just me being very transparent about it. But, it's not such a sad story. It's just kind of reflection of like why I did what I did. And I remember I made the decision, but I feel like I was more excited to just tell him what I was going to do. So even before I like planned it all out or like revealed it to him, I had bought the car. I went and bought this car, and he kind of knew about the car or whatever. And then I told him, I was like, I think I'm gonna put a LS in it. And he was like, oh, he was just kind of excited. He's like, oh, for real? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and do that, and custom ECU and all that. And it was something that really blew his mind at the time, and he knew I could do it. Probably he believed in me probably more than I did myself, as I was kind of going through everything and figuring out each little issue. Like I said, I'm not a pioneer of this swap or anything like that, but there's a lot of people that put the work before me. It's just mainly assembling the parts. A few things were custom, and a few things had to be figured out, and gear ratios and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's a good platform to use. So now I just don't know where I'm headed. I don't know how I feel about the project exactly, or how far I want to go with it. To be honest, I'm trying to think how long I built this car ago. Well, yeah, be honest, I was making good money before I built this project. I guess that's what allowed me to be able to complete it in such a short period of time. But now it's just kind of like I started to look more at what I do with my time and how I'm spending my time, which is like, what am I using my time for, which is mainly making money and spending time with my family. And I just haven't had the motivation or the additional time to work on this car, because if anyone like look at all the videos and figure it out, but I had a son after I built this car and was completed with the car. So that's also been a big major change in my life. Thank God my dad was able to see me have my first child and all that good stuff, and was able to play with him and everything. Man, I can't even get into it. But you know, this is the car. I took out all this is apart because I had to take the wiring harness out for the DCT, because it's kind of really rough in there, tight, so I couldn't really disconnect none of the cables. The wiring here has always been a mess. I kind of always hated it being like this, but it worked because I really didn't have any passengers. But my goal was to originally put it up in the glove box, which I did for a little while, but it was just so difficult to get wires connected into the back of it. And I think I had like a cabling issue, so I ended up bringing it back down. But I do plan on getting all that wrapped up and tightened up in the future. What else? Can't really think of much else. You know, the shifter, I've always loved that shifter in there. Everything looks good. I still like the interior of the car. I still like the size of the car. I like the weight of the car. The biggest change I would like to make to the car would probably be gear ratio, because the gear ratios have really stunts the torque on this car. And that was the goal at first, was to stunt the torque. But the thing is that you have to find that blend. It's not just the gear ratio, and it's more like, you know, you got the tires, you got the gear ratios on the transmission, first gear ratio, second gear ratio, which kind of like basically as a whole gives the car its driving characteristics. And people forget that sometimes. That's why certain turbo engines feel so powerful. It's the reason why GTRs were killing it when they first came out. It's like you got to have them perfect gear ratios. It really just determines the character of cars. And not to say this car was a chump by any means. It just was not putting down as much torque as it could have. And the same thing goes for a lot of my cars. Man, I have a lot of cars with like gear ratio, final gear ratios in like the twos, like 2.5, 6 on one of my cars. My truck has a like a 308 in it or something. So like those low numbers on the gear ratios just make a big difference in how the vehicles drive. I mean, it saves on gas, but that's about it. I'm looking at her. I'm just, you know, I love the car. I still love the car. Sometimes a headache, but, you know, it's a love-hate relationship at times. So that's my update for right now. I hate that I got rid of the license plate. I mean, I have it, but I can like reissue it and stuff. But I did take the insurance off of it because I have four cars that I pay insurance on. But anyway, there she is, guys. She looks sad, but she'll come back, because one thing about me, I ain't about to just let money sit around for long. And this car has a lot of money in it. She's still in good condition. She just needs to be polished up, and I can paint, so I can get the car painted or whatever. Just not in this condition. I'm trying to do a little bit better with everything, but I need to get my headers off the ground, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, a lot of work to come, guys, but yeah, I just want to let you know I'm still alive and the car is still here. I haven't really quit on it. Just kind of like a life thing, just life. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Stay tuned. I'm always gonna put out stuff, like random stuff. I like shorts now, so I'll be doing the YouTube shorts, just blabbing about stuff as I come across issues, and always learning, always continuing to learn. You know, this isn't a thing that makes me money, not just YouTube, but just like cars in general. I don't really use cars to make money like maybe I used to back in the day, and fixing them and selling them and stuff is more or less just passion. It's pure passion, pure love for automotive, which was heavily instilled in me as a child from my father. Like one of the coolest cars, well, one of the craziest like little things my dad had was building this truck actually behind us, and I'll show it to you guys. I can't remember what year model it is. It's a like mid 90s 1500 truck, and he always had these wheels on it, which they're kind of big for what they are. It's got some 275 60-15s on it. I just bought some new tires and stuff for it on the front, but it got like some headers on it and stuff. It's not like super souped up or nothing, but my dad used to race his truck all the time, and he was doing a lot of winning in this truck, which is crazy. now that I think about it. But I was just there for it all. A lot of exciting times and burnouts and donuts and everything in this truck. So I actually plan on restoring this truck as soon as I can clear out some other projects. But yeah, this is kind of like one of the pieces that give you that drive, man. Give you that fever, that car fever. And of course, I ended up going the car route. I used to always like supercars and stuff, but that's beside the point. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.